wondering something. What would the world look like if lions only existed in history and storybooks? Well, that's really hard to imagine, right? But here's the thing. We might be closer to that reality than we think. So why did I choose this topic in the first place? Well, I've always liked lions. I thought they were cute and powerful at the same time. But recently, I found out that their population has decreased by about 90% over the past few centuries. That's a huge drop. So that made me wonder, what's really happening to them? And more importantly, what can we do to help? Because I know some of you might be thinking, they're just animals, so why should I care? But lions have a much bigger role than we realize. In the wild, they're what we call apex predators. They sit at the very top of the food chain and hunt herbivores like zebras and antelope. Without predators like lions, herbivore population could overpopulate, which could lead to overgrazing and may eventually cause soil erosion. So in a way, lions are like nature's way of keeping everything in balance. But their importance isn't just ecological, it's also cultural. In African countries, lions are seen as symbols of strength, courage, and identity. They often appear in traditional symbols or flags. So to lose them would also mean losing a part of human culture too. And there's another side to this, economics. People travel from all over the world just to see these wild animals. That tourism brings in money that supports jobs and helps local communities survive. So in a way, helping lions doesn't just mean helping animals. It also means helping humans too. But despite all of this, we're still losing them. And honestly, a lot of the reasons come back to us. One major reason is urban expansion. As human populations grow, we build more roads, cities, and farms. We don't always think about what was there before. To us, it's just building more places to live. But to lions, it means less places to live, hunt, and survive. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade is also one of the main problems. Some people kill lions for parts of their bodies, like their skins or bones. Those are then sold illegally, often for profit or traditional uses. And human-wildlife conflict is also one of the problems. In some areas, lions may attack livestock, and farmers kill them to protect their livestock. While that reaction is understandable, it creates a cycle where lions continue to disappear. But here's the important part. Lions don't actually want to hurt humans. They only become dangerous when they feel threatened. So I learned about the organization called Panthera, which works with communities to ensure that lions are seen as a helpful part of the ecosystem instead of a threat. They also fight poaching by reducing traps in the wild to ensure that lions don't fall into them. Tanzania has the most lions in the world, so let's see how they protect them. To maintain that, they have the law called the Wildlife Conservation Act, which includes hunting blocks and living walls, which are basically barriers between livestock and the lion's territory, which prevents human-wildlife conflict. They also have a GPS collar to track the location of the pride and to prevent human-wildlife conflict so that conservationists can step in before conflicts can happen. So yes, progress is being made, but it's not enough without us. You can donate to organizations like Panthera, or you can avoid attractions that exploit lions or visit lion sanctuaries and zoos or volunteer to help. You can also raise awareness, because the simplest way to let people know about our problem is to simply talk about it. So for my project, I wanted to try that and made a poster and put it up around the school. It's about the importance of lions and why we need them and how we can help them. Before this project, I just thought lions were cool. Now I see them completely differently. I realize they're essential to the ecosystem, to economics, and even to human culture. But what made me sad is how fast we're losing them. But at the same time, it gave me hope. Because if humans are part of the problem, we can also be part of the solution. So the next time you think about lions, don't just think of strength. Think of responsibility. because whether they would continue to live or only exist in stories might depend on what we do next. Now, I want to thank my parents, teachers, and friends for supporting me throughout this project. Thank you.